Hi friends, popping in on this Tuesday. I just shared a podcast recommendation that I hope you take the time to listen to. It's pretty short. You can do it while you fold laundry, while you go for a walk, while you go for a drive. I just got back from my walk and I'm making my lunch and I finished listening to it. But it's about reframing how you view your habits. And a lot of times we're super focused on the end goal, right? Like we're here, you're working on your fitness, you're working on your nutrition because you want to hit like a certain number or size, and we lose sight of the real flex and the real transformation being what happens in the process, like who you become along the way, about you changing your identity and your own personal story, which oftentimes are super limiting. And they keep us stuck, and it's kind of our like get out of jail card, like, oh, see, it was too difficult, or oh, see, it just isn't made for me, or I can't do that. We have all these limiting stories, right? A lot of us are in this season of waiting, and I'm telling you that it's not suddenly going to get easier. Your kids going back to school isn't going to clear your whole schedule. You start today where you're at, but I want you to listen to this podcast, or at least listen to this, and think about the fact that, are you prioritizing the actual habits themselves, or instead are you prioritizing the process of cultivating those habits? Because if you, instead of the outcome, if you're driven by the, I'm going to give myself grace, I'm not going to fall into this perfectionist mindset, because if you are here for your outcome, more than likely you're struggling with some perfectionism, or you're like, these are the 5 things I need to do in order to get to this goal. But what happens when you fall off track? What happens when life gets in the way? What happens when it's not perfect, or when your body just doesn't feel like doing what you say you're gonna do? There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you're lazy or that you have to go back to square one. This is why I am not a proponent of 75 hard. I think 75 hard cultivates a perfectionist mindset. It's all or nothing, and we're just not designed that way. Do I want you to have standards for your life? Absolutely. Do I want you to lean into that place of discomfort and slightly outside your comfort zone to next level of your life? You betcha. But having this mindset that if I messed up, or I missed a day, or it didn't look the way I thought it should in my head, then I have failed, or I need to go back to day one, that does not serve you. It does not serve you. So instead, if you can reframe this and you can rewire your own thinking around, what does my next level version of me feel like? You know, instead you start to fall in love with the process and who you're becoming. And like happy, healthy, fit Sarah prioritizes going for a walk. And that might not happen on every single day, but if it happens, 6 days out of 7, that's a win. This is what we talk about. I want you to collect your wins. I want you to reframe your idea of what success and winning looks like. It's not a number, it's not a size. I'm doing bar, total broken record over here. I freaking love this program. I 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 did not like the first bar. I was telling the girls on Zoom this morning, I would have paid good money to be able to throw something at that version of her. Please don't report me. I don't want to get blocked. I just wasn't in alignment with me. It didn't feel good for my body. But this version in this season is the right match. And I'm not saying that this is your perfect match for you right now, but that's what this is about. This is about you experimenting, you being okay being a beginner, you being okay and comfortable with the uncomfortable, and just taking the daily action. So what habits do you need to cultivate so that you can kind of be excited and be proud of who you're becoming, not so that you automatically get to the end goal? Because even if you hit your end goal, it's not going to be enough. If that's the way you're living this life and this journey, you will constantly be in this place of it's not enough, or I'm feeling really restless, or just a little bit more, instead of falling in love with the journey and having fun along the way. This doesn't have to be this horrible, awful, horrendous process. And I think for some of you, you think it does. I know when I was getting started, I thought it did. I thought being on a fitness journey, following a nutrition plan meant punishment, it meant deprivation, it meant pushing super, super hard. Number 1, that sucks. Number 2, it's not sustainable. And number 3, life is freaking short. Like, who wants to live that way? So if you are struggling with that, if you've been really focused on this is the outcome I have to get to, I want you to roll it back for a minute and be like, how do I want to feel today? Like, what are the things that will make me feel proud? It's not going to transform anything magically overnight. That's not how this works. But you building your belief, you creating that consistency, you holding space for yourself, you keeping a promise even when it's not perfect. That is the magic maker. That is what will get you your transformation. That is what will help you feel proud. And that's what will transform this from something you have to something you get to. It's not always going to be perfect. We know this. We already know this. So set yourself up for success and be like, this isn't about me doing all my habits or creating these things I'm going to do every day for 21 days to create a habit. Instead, I want you to be like, I'm doing this because I'm enjoying who it's making me into. I can fall in love with that process. Total game changer. So listen to Kristen's podcast. If you do, I want you to leave a comment. I got a lot out of it. And it was just that, sometimes we're so focused on the number and the size, but really, what about what's your blood pressure doing? What are your cortisol levels doing? Are you sleeping better? Are you having more sex? Are you able to swing on the swings with your kids? Are you going on a walk with your family because you get to versus you have to? These are simple things that it's a small mindset change. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be in this group. You don't have to push play. You don't have to eat more vegetables or drink more water or prioritize your sleep. You don't have to do any of that. You have free will as a human, but you get to be a work in progress. You get to be an example. You get to be the one that changes your trajectory. When you change your story, it's not just about you. When you change your journey and your story and your beliefs and how you choose to interact with food or to show up to wellness or to move your body, when you start to change that story and how you show up, you change your kids' view of that. So we're not just doing this is so I can have my bikini body. This is so that you're doing generational freaking work. And I want you to celebrate yourself. I want you to be proud of yourself. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about who you become along the way. Okay? Okay.